voice break. Welcome back to another show. We're inside Geopolitics, and I come in here for all the analysis and also to have some fun. I think like one of the biggest weaknesses I made as a content creator was like, oh, just talking about this, but the problem is it's not as entertaining, so people kind of left. So for me, I kind of react to like really out of control TikToks, and I think that's been helping me out a lot. But thank you and welcome to joining the show. I look forward to it, and as always, we're just gonna jump right into it, just to let everyone know, from now up until probably like maybe the 22nd or 23rd, I'm just gonna be streaming this time consistently for at least 1 hour a day, and then my schedule's gonna get wonky because I am in California for Oklahoma, and I'll be there for a few months. I'm still gonna be able to stream, just not as frequently as I'd like to, because I got my job and everything. And that being said, let me also put a disclaimer. Everything you see here is my own opinion. It is not a reflection of the Department of Defense, the Army National Guard, or any other government entity. This is all my own analysis, my own opinion. I'm not going to disparagingly talk about any other elected official on here. If I am going to bring up an elected official, I will bring up an analysis and an opinion, but it will not be disparagingly or in such a way where it will be derogatory. There are also certain policies that I can't talk about given my job. That being said, everything else is fair game, and I am going to talk about it. So, thank you for joining the show. And and right before it, let's just jump into it. Oh dear. Here we go. I do apologize. Normally I kind of have this laid out, but you know what? We just we're gonna do this. Ta-da! Okay, we are at 38 followers, 12 more until Aquarius. This is awesome. Not going to ask me the other requirement of having 3 viewers at minimum. There have been some streams just straight up 0. But, that being said, most of my streams have garnered the attention of a lot of individuals. Like, some streams have just been popping, and it has been insane. It has been awesome, and I have loved every single second of it. I loved it. It's great. It's been great being on here, kind of putting my master's degree to good use. And I'm so grateful that I'm starting to slowly build up a community where I'm starting to get more people to come in and talk. And here's the thing, everyone is welcome to talk. I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on. If you disagree, I want to hear it in the chat. If you want to lurk, that's also welcome. And I'm also letting everyone know, anything and everything is fair game until the point you start violating Twitch terms of service. As a streamer, I will remove you if you start violating TOS. That's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I will remove you. And it's not because, I'm like restricted to speech or anything. If you violate it, you will be removed. I just gotta put my foot down. Because unfortunately, what ends up happening, a lot of streamers don't know about this when they first start out. There will be people that come in here try to mess up the page. They ain't gonna play that on my channel. I came in prepared. Before I started content creating, especially on Twitch, I read the whole, I don't know the whole thing, but I read it. I'm well versed in it. So if you come in here and try that, you're not gonna play it. But this is my Twitch. If you're not following, I'm gonna follow. I am so happy because yesterday was my first ever actual interview. So from what you can see, this is the full entire 1 hour interview in regards to TikTok ban, Israel, the election coming up in 2024. I did my own analysis, my own opinions and insights. I also gave like some sort of fundamental theory in regards to conventional warfare. It's really cool. You should definitely check it out. And I'm also letting everyone know, currently in the works is a debate going on right now. I do apologize. Give me 1 second. Alright, yep, sorry, my phone is on the ring. Sorry about that. But there is a debate coming out. I'm so excited for it. I will be debating an individual who is from outside. That will be super interesting and fun to take note of. Now, this is my TikTok. I am going to be unfortunately transferring from TikTok to Twitch. That's because of the ban. Now, it's not expected to happen for another 2 months. But that being said, I am ready to start moving over to Twitch. How about the Twitch? I do think this is going to start duplicating some of this. Now, I am moving from TikTok TikTok to Twitch. I'm telling everyone that I know, hey, if you're following me on TikTok, get your butt over to Twitch. Because that's where I'm going to be at now. Because of the ban. And honestly, it's been way easier for me to do this rather than, like, for me, making a TikTok takes time, energy, and effort. I am going to low-key shade some people here. Because people that make TikToks and they're like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna make a TikTok and just post it and it never ends well. It takes, like, at least for me, 1 hour. Because I gotta double check, double verify everything and anything that's being said. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to keep checking, I gotta keep checking. Is this factual? Is this factual? What's the counter argument to this? I mean, I bring that scholarly stuff that I've done for 2 years into, like, the social media creating content. It hasn't been easy. It really hasn't. Because I have to be a good content creator and also give good quality analysis. That's normally reserved for scholarly, like, articles. Putting those two together, it's not... I'm finding more difficulties in it, but doesn't mean I won't be able to complete it. Now, let's go on with the show. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the one thing I learned. There's gonna be some random TikToks that I gotta say. And some of these random TikToks are emphasizing my point and my point alone. This bit, like, I am all in support for the ban. Like, some people on this app, now, like, okay, so Big Nick. Okay, so Big Nick is a content creator on TikTok. Now, he's a Christian. I'm not dogging anybody that's Christian. But it's like, I see stuff like this. I'm like, okay, you got to be goddamn kidding me. Look at this. A music video of Lil Nas X making fun of Jesus has 1.4 million views in less than a day. Meanwhile, a music video glorifying Jesus only has 4K views in 2 days. This is proof we are living in the end times. Okay, now I get very upset and very, very annoyed. Now, I mentioned this about the pro-Palestine movement, and here's the thing. It goes to every single movement. I don't care left, right, religious, not religious, political or not. You're always going to find people that will make a buck out of this. And this is one of them.
It's because your music is fucking...
I actually had to censor him because, well, you can't be cussing up the street up in here.
The end of time, days, your shit is just generally fucking trash, bro. You wanna know how trash this shit is? Let me show ya how fucking dirt this song is.
My soul was almost lost to intervene, oh yeah. Now I'm sipping for the Nazarene.
Oh, like, here's the thing. I saw this TikTok before, but I never listened to the video itself, and I'm like, oh, bro, it's not good. Like, here's the thing. There's a lot of content creators on TikTok that'll be like, oh, like, I'm shadow banned. No, you're not. Your content's just trash. The content's trash. And this is an example.
Demons try to get me and escape.
The fuck was this shit, bro? I thought this was fucking Nav for a second, bro. This shit sounds like a fucking SpongeBob AI voice, bro.
Okay, when I saw the SpongeBob AI, I was laughing my butt off. Like, what is this? Oh, look, I don't care what your cause is. Good music is good music. If you're gonna get on there, you better be good. I don't know. And here's my thing. There are always grifters in every movement. I don't care where you are. And, you know, there's a lot of Christians that don't talk about it, but there's so many grifters on here. On social media, they just use the Bible for their own means instead of actually following their beliefs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Jewish.
Jeez, oh my gosh. So, I swear, this is one of the reasons why it takes forever for me to make a TikTok, because you have to, like, double check and make sure that nothing you said was unhinged. Like, for me, I get warnings all the time, and, like, well, not say all the time, but over at work, I have people come up to me saying, hey, you need to be careful on what you post because it always takes one person, and all that's valid, and I take that and I screen the living hell out of my social media to make sure I'm not saying anything crazy. Oh my god, listen to this. I'm just gonna play you 3 seconds. Listen to this.
Starting with just the fact that he's Jewish. Just
Oh, what the what? Now, like, okay, so the original thing, the original TikTok is about banning TikTok. But all these, had people read the articles, they would have noticed and realized that they're mostly talking about and concerned with ByteDance. I don't know what happened, But now we got tinfoil hat people out here making like some weird claims that because TikTok is pro-Palestine, that this is the voice of truth. Now they're trying to suppress it. Like this has been going long since October 7th. Oh, but look, I'm speechless. Look at this. Starting with just the fact that he is Jewish. What the? Just what? Like that's not even. Your anti-Semitism is showing. I said this before and I said this again. You know, when the whole thing broke off, I was still in the camp of, you know, anti-Semitism, like being an anti-Zionist isn't anti-Semitic. Oh boy, my views changed a lot. My views have changed a lot. Because of crap like this on TikTok. No, it's not everyone. Look, to say that everyone who is against Israel is not anti-Semitic, that's no, that argument, that argument ad hominem. This is what I have seen. You have content creators that are pro-Palestine that are anti-Semitic. That's the problem with the movement that's been going on. I mentioned it before. You're gonna get your grifters and all this other stuff, but you have genuine legit anti-Semites that are out of the woodwork. Nothing is being done to curtail them. Look at this. Look. I'm not, just 3 seconds alone. Listen to this.
Starting with just the fact that he's Jewish.
Give me the context where that's appropriate and that sounds okay.
Just par for the course.
Well, you can end with that fact too.
I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. Gee, look. I didn't even look at the comments. Look at this. Oh my god. I didn't even read this. Why do they get a religion? A country is another religion that is the same. Christian nations killing them. Well, me too. Is it 30,000? I thought Health Ministry reported a higher number. It is oh my god.
We were all thinking it. Israel is trying to buy TikTok.
I ain't even gonna get into this.
TikTok ban, but nobody.
Like, here's the thing. Here's my analysis in regards to the whole TikTok social media. It's actually helping them. And here's why. TikTok has been radicalizing individuals and users on their app. Now, what has been helping out a lot of them? Here's the thing. When you read Saul Alinsky, Rules for Radicals, like if you are an activist, I don't care if you're left, right, or center, you need to read that book. Or just anything in general. I mean, I equate, honestly, that book equivalent to like Robert Greene's Laws of Power, because that book gives you the fundamentals of communication and activism. There's always a swing. In regards to the Israel-Palestine conflict, TikTok actually helps Israel out. For one reason and one reason alone, that people get so radicalized to be so anti-Israel. People that aren't usually on the app, that aren't usually on social media, which is a vast amount of individuals, kind of get radicalized. Well, I'm gonna say they get radicalized, but the people that get radicalized on this app to go out and protest, I will say this: you have people that just honestly just don't care, and some of the tactics that do involve trying to get them to care, like blocking the roads and interfering, shopping sprees. Like we're gonna see this here. Nobody cares, and the fact that you're doing all that just makes it way worse. Now here's the thing: this is one argument of, oh, you can't tell them how to. You can't tell them like how to organize or how to be upset or be activism. Yeah, do you do whatever you want. I'm not gonna say. If you want to do that, go on right ahead. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm just letting you know. It's not helping. The whole thing. When October 7th kicked off, yeah, you got like a lot of pro-Palestinian protests. But here's the thing that nobody even talked about. IPAC received so much in donations following all these pro-Palestinian protests. And here's the thing. You have activists that are pro-Palestine that are doing it for show. Israel, on the other hand, they're not doing it for show. They don't care about any of that stuff. They care, and they're going for the throat and the heart of it all. And they're doing a far effective job in that. Now, I said it in my interview, they aren't doing an effective job in regards to information warfare, but they are going for the jugular. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay. All right, let's look at this. And okay, it took me off by surprise. Like, and she probably did this. I mentioned this, that you have 3 seconds to grab everybody's attention. This lady put whipped cream on her face. Like, come on, it's got some oils in it. That's why I don't use shaving cream. But let's take a look.
Everyone's talking about the TikTok ban, but nobody's talking about how fucking embarrassing it is to be an American right now. I feel like no
Okay, come on, let's go.
one has really sat and taken the time to conceptualize that a bunch of expired retirement home patients all gathered in a room can never agree. But when it comes to
I mean, she is right, yeah, but that's the way it's designed. Because, you know, when you open up the Federalist Papers with, like, Alexander Hamilton, I forgot who said it. Faction is to liberty as heirs to fire. That's the point. That's one of the safeguards against an authoritarian regime. Having all these factions fight amongst themselves is actually one of the best safeguards to preventing an all-out powerful regime from controlling everyone. That's why, you know, you look at the People's Republic of China, Democratic People's Republic of North Korea. No, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, you know, North Korea. The Russian Federation. Like, those three are pretty good examples where they have elections, but it's mostly a one-party state system. It's more effective, yes, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you argue otherwise, but it's not a good safeguard. Having individuals disagree, yeah, it might be ineffective, but it is a safeguard.
to banning the fucking Renegade app is the one time.
Oh, she did it. I hated TikTok when it first came out, but I just saw all these cringe-ass dances. And I'm like, okay, look, if you're gonna dance, if you're gonna sing, you better get up there and you better do it good.
And that they decide to, like, unite forces and come together, you know?
Okay, and here's the thing, and I'm pretty sure she's not gonna say it. This is my first time actually opening up. No one is gonna talk about the fact that the first wave, before it went over to the House of Representatives, 50-0. 50-0. Democrats and Republicans agreed to it. They each received classified information in regards to the security, in regards to what TikTok does. That should kind of ring alarm, like, that should send you alarm bells. If everybody in that room agreed to move it forward, to make sure that this app is banned, that should say something. Now, the point and goal is not necessarily to get rid of it, but it's in the hopes of ByteDance to divest from it. Donald Trump does not want this to happen because he's afraid that Meta is going to get their hands on this. Now, when Donald Trump was in office, he argued TikTok needs to be banned. He started this off. It didn't follow through, but now it's following through with President Biden.
When the homelessness rates are going up,
Oh my I don't like this. I don't like this argument. This is why I don't like this argument. When it comes to homelessness, there are so many complex layers into this. I hear this all the time from pro-Russian supporters. We need to stop giving money to Ukraine because we have homeless people over here in America, and it's not like we need to help them out. We need to help our homeless veterans out. Like nobody cared about them, honestly, and no one's going to care about them. I do not like it when the homeless are used as props in a political argument. I just don't. Because here's the thing. We cannot end homelessness just like that. I live in California. I live in Los Angeles. I know about homelessness. I don't know where she's from. I'm just gonna let you know, as someone who's lived here for most of my life, it's a very complex issue. And this is what I mean by complex. California offers so much support for these individuals, not enough, but it's a lot. More than other states. Offers a lot of support, and yet we still have a homelessness crisis. A lot of people don't factor in that, look, Los Angeles has the best climate. If you went to somewhere like in South Dakota, North Dakota, or Alaska, if you were homeless and it was winter, you're dead. Over here, you're gonna be fine. You might get wet, which is actually, a problem, but in a sense, you still survive. The climate is favorable to your advantage. Now, there's other laws and regulations that have been kind of making it worse. But here's the thing. California is a prime example that the government cannot single-handedly solve the homelessness crisis. Because we also have mental health, we also have the drugs going on, we have the economy. Like, there's so many variety of factors that go into it, you cannot just walk in and snap your fingers and fix it. Now, unless you did some authoritarian, like, look, you can fix it, but you just gotta be very authoritarian and violate a lot of human rights and civil liberties, which is never gonna happen. At least I hope.
People can't even freaking feed their kids. The government's just like, okay, maybe later.
I said it before. I said it in the last argument, so let's keep walking.
It comes to fucking TikTok. Are you kidding me? Like,
who's gonna make a bet? Who's gonna make a bet that she's not even gonna talk about the whole 50-0? Like, I've been on this app and I've been scanning through. No one's talking about 50-0.
massive genocides. They're like,
Okay, no, I just realized with Twitch, you can actually say that word. TikTok, you can't.
Okay, that's a tomorrow problem. But they can push this shit through faster than EDP went to the donut shop. And
Like, no. Here's my thing. The only thing that America can do is pressure Israel. But even by Israel's own admission, regardless of what the international community says, they're still gonna go through it. No, I'm not saying like, just let it happen. But what I am saying, like, these are complex political issues that I don't like. You get on TikTok, you got 3 seconds to grab people's attention, and you gotta make it a very short video. Now, TikTok wants you to make it longer than a minute, but it's still very short.
And my favorite thing in the entire big wide world is when boomers are like, China's stealing all your
Here we go.
information. As a freaking meta, the #1 information stealer out there is.
Okay. Now, granted, she is correct. But the issue with the foreign government having everyone's profile and everyone's entity from a foreign government would create issues because they have the ability to influence the population. I talked about hard power and soft power. Hard power, it's your militaries, your missiles, all the fun, like all that stuff you need to wipe everything out, like rule with an iron fist. Soft power, you infiltrate through the culture. Japan has been doing the best job. You got anime. That's my best example right there. But with stuff like this is the problem where it's like China has infiltrated via TikTok, using its algorithms, but there is no way to positively catch them unless you have whistleblowers from ByteDance, which is never gonna happen.
It's like keeping them safe or something. Like the same boomers that do that will fill out like the fucking 40 question Facebook questionnaires about like their favorite color and their maiden name and how many kids they have and shit.
Okay, so this is what nobody talks about, and I didn't realize this until I started learning about cybersecurity. That's all to get your password. Nobody talks about that. So I used to do it a lot. What's your last name? What's your age? What's your mom's maiden name? What's this? What's this? And everybody filled it out, right? But knowing what I know from my time, like trying to be a security analyst, that's trying to get your password. And I hate kudos and bravo to the people
If you think this genuinely has anything to do with national security, you are sadly mistaken.
Okay, if you're gonna come at me with this energy, girl, come on, let's hit me with the arguments.
Claim to be a democracy, but the one thing that the US government loves is being in control. And that's one thing that they cannot tolerate not having. Because people are finally finding a way to beat the system. People are finding a way to make a living without paying thousands and thousands of dollars of student loans and being in debt for the rest of their life.
Whose fault was that? I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to student national debt, I am not blind to the fact that you have so many individuals that are completely screwed. That being said, and where I come from is a privileged position, you know, I'll give you that. I don't have any student loan debts. I did not go to an expensive 4-year university. Let's see what else I didn't do. I went to a state college. I made sure I had the money to pay it off. I did not waste my time in college. I built connections. And I leveraged it accordingly. Now, granted, you do have individuals, like, here's the thing. Control your own destiny and control your own life. If you want to go to college, go to college. I don't care. Like, do you do you. I recommend people do it, but don't just go. Alright, let me tell you something. There are so many people that I know that went to a very expensive college because of their parents that kind of pushed them. Especially around Asian cultures where it's like you are pushed to go to expensive universities, but it's only for the sake of the parents. For the kids, like, they honestly don't care. I mean, it's Asian immigrant thing where they want their kids to be very rich because they think that, like, if your kids are rich, they can be happy. But honestly, from what I've been seeing in my generation, I've known people that have become doctors, lawyers, and nurses that went to expensive schools and they're paying off their student debts. They're making 6 figures. They are miserable. They're miserable because they do not want any of that. Now, granted, look, pay your bills, make sure you got the money to pay all that. But go out, like, look, you only got one life to live. Live it. Don't be reckless and stupid, but at least live it. With the whole student debt thing, it's just, on one hand, yes, like the loans, like I've seen the loans. I'm not gonna dismiss that. Those loans are preposterous, they're ridiculous, and I do not like it how they're just giving them out left and right. And it's kind of very predatory as well. That I will agree with you. On the other hand, it also does take individual responsibility to pay debts. Both realities exist, and that I believe in both.
People are becoming successful outside of their college 9-to-5 work plan, which literally 99% of the people I know who graduated college cannot even find a job, mind you.
Yeah, you know what? Here, credit where credit's due. She's correct on that. The job market is right now. Connections. Get friends. That's how you get it.
And when they do, it doesn't even pay enough to survive on. They want their cut. They've wanted their cut for like 5 years now. But most importantly, all they want is control. It's getting to the point where like the amendments mean nothing. Like the government can take away a literal app on our phones and
Whoa, what? No, I'm not even gonna go there.
supposed to believe we're free. There's like grown men on the dark web, like making red rooms, like live streaming actual violent crimes, and we're taking away the clock app. No, like this whole
Web is so complicated and so vast. Like they are doing their best, trust me. Like the amount of like, I've only studied cybersecurity for at least a few months, and even then that kind of blew my head. Like all the complexities of like how to track these individuals. It's trust me, it's tough to find them, especially on the dark web, especially with the VPNs and everything.
The whole situation is actually embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed to be an American. Like imagine telling a pilgrim this. I love you, Hobknockers, and I'll see you in the next one.
I want to see something. Okay, you see, that makes more sense, because here's the thing. She's part of the creator beta program, creators beta program, something like that. Look, if you make it past 10,000 followers, TikTok will pay you for each thousands of views. So look at this. Like, so let's assume it's like $1 for 1,000 views. She's making a lot of money on TikTok. I can see why she's upset. I will give you that. But here's the thing, it's like if you come, like, this is why it's really hard to be a content creator on TikTok, trying to, especially with the route that I'm taking, because it's like, man, you're fighting an uphill battle. Now here, I'll sprinkle in every once in a while a random video that I do want to talk about. Like, some people should not be having kids. Period. I look at stuff like this, like, here's the thing. With social media, people are having kids for the cloud content, and this is one of them. Like, I cannot. It is gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen later on down the road, especially with individuals that are Gen Alpha and beyond, that have been exposed from their childhood to being content without their permission or consent. And like, look at this. So this lady, mom of 2 under 2, she's having a mental breakdown. Showing and teaching my 2.5-year-old son emotional regulation and emotional stability. Lady, the kid is 2.5 years old, he doesn't know anything. Like, all he knows is to cry, scream to get what he wants. They can't emotionally regulate. You can't even, like, teenagers can't even emotionally regulate. It's only until, like, you're way later they cool down a little bit. But at this age, they're just gonna scream and cry and get whatever they want. Now, every kid is dependent, every situation is unique. But the ability to self-regulate and emotionally stabilize does not happen around this age. Oh my god! So, okay, here's the thing. Now this is a stitch, and this lady took it down, which, now you took it down. But look at this. I am so exhausted by you hitting me all the time screaming. Okay, if you were, like, don't get me wrong, like, children are exhausting. You should have known what you were signing up for. I have zero sympathy. I do not have any sympathy for people that complain about having kids once the kids come out. You should have done your work. You should have done your research. You should have known the amount of like work it takes. It's so much on people. And I get it, you know, sometimes accidents happen and you're gonna do there, you're gonna be the best you can. But I'm letting you know, it all boils down to individual, like I have a friend, like, why are you like on the right? Like, I personally believe in individual responsibility. I do not like the nanny state. Like, when it comes to kids, you should know what you're getting yourself into. When you're choosing to have unprotected sex, you should know what you're getting into. And this is one of them. Like, I mean, okay, I know this stitch is only 3 to 5 seconds, but I just want to watch this.
I'm so exhausted by you. I think
think this is gonna work? It's gonna make it worse.
All the time he's screaming.
Acknowledging my feelings and okay that I am overwhelmed and sad. Okay, yeah. But he doesn't know this. Like, words are like mush to him. He just sees. He internalizes. And lady, thanks to you, if this is your pattern, this lady had to grab the phone, scroll to TikTok, record, put it down, put the angle correctly. She had to get the kid, sit the kid in front of the camera, had to get the, like, okay, if he was screaming and yelling and being all that, she had to get him to calm down and sit him down in front of her. She had to cry, she had to make sure that the angle was correct, she had to edit it. And this might not have been a first take. Like, let me tell you. Some of my TikToks are not first takes. It takes me a while. You did all of this extra work, and for what, attention? Congratulations, you did all of this just for attention. Well, you got what you wanted. But now, because everyone's giving you, like, when you're a content creator, the stuff you put out, some people are gonna give you heat, people are gonna hate you, so be it. I am ready for it, I'll embrace it. Some people aren't ready for it. And you shouldn't be doing this. And you shouldn't be having kids if this is your first instant reaction. Aaron, I said it.
So, why don't you tell me when these issues with your mother began?
Dude, I got the timestamps.
See, that made me laugh. And here's the thing, this is gonna be on the internet forever. Once it's there forever. Your children are gonna grow up. Your children are gonna become adults. Your children are gonna have access to phones, iPads, laptops at a certain age. I mean, for me, like, I'll be honest with you, I do want to have children, but not right now. No. This is my own personal saying. You know you're mature when you look at something and you realize that you're not ready for it, versus just jumping into it. Children are the most complicated, most time-consuming, most... I would say it's the most work that you'll ever do in your life. And it's not gonna be about you anymore. But guess what? It is rewarding. I'm not gonna sit here and crap on that. But I'm letting everyone know. I swear, they're gonna get their phones. They're gonna see what you posted. You better pray to God. You better pray to God they don't they don't see stuff like this. Now, there's give me a second. There's a thread, regretful parents. Man, I gotta tell you. Now, granted, on Reddit, you can get up there and lie. Whew. With Reddit, they have the ability to kind of openly talk about it and be anonymous, which I respect you for that, because, like, you have the forethought of realizing that your children are gonna grow up and see it. Man, people do not talk about it. They just don't. I don't know. So it's only 7 seconds, but look at this. Just look at this. Look at the background. I want to, like, just look at the background. Nobody care. I am telling, like, where's my phone? This destroyed people's attention spans. This honestly did. Because of that, because of all this other things, congratulations, now you, like, they don't care anymore. Like, people stop caring about this. Why? It doesn't affect them. That's why you see all these protesters doing crazy things to try to get their attention. Here's the thing, regardless of what you do, it's not putting food on the table, it's not paying their bills, they don't care. They just don't. Now, granted, you can make the argument, oh, they're sending their money to Israel. That is an argument, I will give you that. This is the problem when it comes to arguments, or, like, doing stuff like this, it's all performance art. It honestly is. Like, it's not gonna stop. When it comes to complex geopolitical issues, especially when it comes to war with Israel and Palestine, this is one of the reasons why I find personally, okay, this is what I would argue. When it comes to a ceasefire, these are why it's impossible. Both sides want to kill each other. Like, nobody, like, there is an immense amount of hatred on both sides that they want to wipe each other out regardless. And they both want safety and security, and neither are willing to cave in. Actually, like, you know, we'll talk about it then. I just realized something. I just realized they made an offer. We will go to Al Jazeera, because Al Jazeera is, well, biased, but as well. Lady, I guarantee you this, as someone who's worked retail for a year and a half, they got their earphones on and they're just walking minding their own business. As someone who worked in retail for a year and a half, especially in the malls, I'm telling you this. No matter where you are, whether the cultures be different, whatever the mall is, everyone has that same thing. They'll go into the mall, they'll go to the shop they want, maybe they'll go around, and then go bye-bye. Stuff like this, they don't care about. Like, I've seen malls put on elaborate performances, and people just walk by them. This is one of them.
That erupted with the October 7th
Oh my god.
terrorist attacks has just caused too much suffering.
I believe the West's obsession with October 7th and their hyper fixation on that particular date is a subconscious fear of the oppressed revolting against the oppressors.
So, following Ukraine, everyone's got phones. Like, this is the first world war. Like, Ukraine was the beginning of a real world war where everybody can see what's going on. When October 7th hit, you saw videos of people just dropping like flies. You saw videos of Hamas paragliding into the music festivals, shooting everybody in Port-au-Johns, people screaming and crying, being taken hostages. The oppressed revolting against their oppressors. I understand that when insurgent warfare, they have to, they have to provoke counterinsurgents into making big, bad, irrational decisions. I understand that. I can see that. That is a tactic. But per their own admission, they admitted October 7th that there were mistakes made. And here's the thing. This is where I kind of argue against the historical narrative of this. Well, it's like this happened way before October 7th. Like this resistance has been going on since 1948, and they just go back, trying to tie in the legitimacy of the state of Israel. That is a legitimate argument. However, but what is your conclusion? Is the conclusion that Israel is like, okay, let's say, this is your argument that it is a colonial, racist, apartheid, genocide state, I'm getting all that right. Let's say that's your argument, that's your conclusion. If that is your conclusion, what is the solution? What are you offering to kind of bring peace over there? And this is my problem. One of them is, let's see what she argues actually.
Because how do we explain seemingly well-educated and intelligent people not fully understanding the violence in a larger context of a violent settler colonial state and occupation that's been going on?
If you shoot soldiers, that's one thing. You open fire on civilians, purposely opening fire on civilians, that's a completely different else. I can understand the argument of, it's an act of resistance, which I can see, but how come, you have to explain to me why that on October 7th, most of the targets were just, okay, I need to be careful because, let me look this up, so I'm not eating. Israeli casualties, October 7th. 7th, civilians. 767 civilian deaths. Okay. 767 civilian deaths. Okay, that's more civilians than security forces. Now, granted, like, you're gonna make mistakes. Even per their own admission, there were mistakes made. But the thing is, with indiscriminate killings, it's like, it's hard to, I don't know.
For this, and this didn't just start in 1948, by the way. I've been doing more reading.
Let's hear it.
It started way before that. Another prime example of this.
You ain't even gonna bring it up. I know when the, like, I wouldn't say like when it first started, but I know at least one of them, because I had to do some research on it. I know at least one of them. You ain't gonna bring it up? Because it actually is a good argument.
This is Haiti. Haiti was the first successful slave revolt against their French colonizers, and they have been paying the price for over 200 years, literally paying the price, paying the French to like not invade them anymore. When Black, brown, and indigenous
When did you make this 3 days? Yeah, so wait, hold up. I don't know when this kicked off. Yeah, I don't know when this kicked off, but this whole... Everything that's been going on is destabilizing the entire country. You could... I don't know, like, what she's... If she's talking about that, I'm more than willing to go on a little bit of a rantish, but...
people resist for their lives, they're called... But when the occupation...
T is when you use violence to obtain political gains. Now, granted, here's the thing, here's the concession that I will give. Given the fact that negotiations have been going south, and hey, Gummo Rabbit, hello. So now I'll say this: given the fact that negotiations with the Palestinians have been going south, I can see that argument. Because do you monitor your Twitch stream? No, I don't. I do, but on Streamlabs. Why? Hold up. Is there something going on? Yeah, I monitor my Twitch stream. Is everything alright? No? I guess not. Let's go back. Yeah, no, like, dude, I check it out. Speaking of which, okay, yeah. Hey, yes, I'm only, let's go back over here. Damn, what was my train of thought?
does, it's their defense.
Yeah, no, dude, like, here's the thing. Before I started this, I realized that. Now, granted, like, if you're a big streamer like Hassan or Destiny, like, your chat's just, like, going nuts. But at least for me, I'm a small content creator, so I at least see the chat, which is pretty cool. So, I mean, I at least get to respond to my audience, which I find that pretty cool. I find it nice. And yeah, hey, Gummo, if you just joined in, I'm just letting everyone know. If you disagree with me, you know, feel free to comment. I'm always here for disagreement.
And I'm just confused at how, again,
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
Intelligent, well-educated people.
The music. Let me see. No. It does. So here's the thing. As a streamer, this is what I end up learning not the hard way. Twitch is very, very strict with DMCA. Like, they're gonna hit a video. Like, they'll hit a stream if it violates any, like, their musical stuff. So as a result, I had to use Streamlabs music, so it's just gonna randomly play, but all of that music is cleared. There is some music that I want to play, but I can't, because Twitch is gonna pull the stream, and I'm not gonna risk it.
At month 6, are still calling this a war or a conflict, which...
How about now? Yep, there we go. How about now? I realized it. It was my mic. Yep, I see it. Thank you so much, Gomo Rapid. Okay, here's the thing. This is my thing, and this is what I don't like. Just because someone disagrees with you, it doesn't mean that they're dumb. There are good arguments against your position. I have my own positions, and I acknowledge that there are good arguments that can go against it. The difference is between me and other streamers is that I'm willing to admit, okay, that's a good argument. I could see that. Like, realities exist. Different realities. What are my positions? I am an individual that does lean sort of right. My channel is mostly in regards to geopolitics, so in regards to the whole Ukraine-Russian war, when it comes to the Ukraine-Russian war, I do believe the United States and NATO should continue to fund Ukraine against Russia. When it comes to and here's the thing, I welcome everybody. I don't care your political positions, just don't violate Twitch TOS. When it comes to the Israel-Palestine war, I mean, here's the thing, I have my own bias, like, I am pro-Israel. However, that being said, some of the things that have been going on for me, I'm still trying to wrestle with the fact of what is the permanent solution to stop the killing and the fighting, because everything's just a mess. Like, you know, I said it here, so, like, there was an interview that I had, and I mentioned this over there. You have a great channel. Hey, Common Ground, thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome back. So, here's my thing, and here's my problem. For the past 2 years, I was at Johns Hopkins University studying, like, geopolitics, how the government and everything kind of intersects all together. But here's one of the biggest problems. when I was on there, everybody disagreed, but we presented our facts, we presented our evidence, and we communicated with one another. I disagree. Your evidence points to this, but however, what else are you saying? You know what I mean? Something like 60% of former. Yeah, no. Here's the thing. I could definitely see. Oh, we're just not gonna vote for Trump. Okay, so off on a tangent. Yeah, I definitely saw that. 60% of former Nikki Haley supporters would not vote for Trump. I could see that. But we have so many progressives and individuals on the Democratic side that are not going to vote for President Biden because they're so upset with what's been going on. That I feel like that's going to do way more damage than that. Now, granted, both of them are going to do damage to both bases. There might be an independent party. We'll see. But, I mean, while that is a cause of concern for the Republican Party, I don't think it's going to knock them out too much. Yeah, like Kennedy. Yeah, with Kennedy, I do feel like he is sort of the independent. Like he is gaining ground from what I've seen. In regards to like the progressives seeing him, I don't know how they view him. I'm going back to this. Just because someone disagrees with you does not mean that they're dumb. There is always another argument against your position. That's what makes me a little more deadlier in the sense of I better argue and debate. Because here's the thing, like. Debates right now are just Jerry Springer. Like, it's just Jerry Springer, really. If Trump is convicted on even one of the 80-something felony charges, it might make people think twice before convinced the White House. Okay, come on, Rabbit. Here's the thing. This is what I ended up seeing, and I was speaking to one of my, a good friend of mine. The more charges and the more they go after him, the higher the poll. Like, it's crazy. Well, I mean, it's not really crazy, because here's what he does. Every time when they hit him with the charge, former President Trump, all he has to do is say that the deep state is coming after me, you better support me, and all this other stuff. It galvanizes and radicalizes his support. He does it he's good at this. Do not underestimate how good he is at this. Because here's the thing. I remember when Hillary Clinton went after Donald Trump supporters, that they're racist, they're sexist, and all this other stuff. But do you know what he did? On his next rally following that, she said this. She called all of you racist, sexist, all this other stuff. And my God, it was perfect. It worked well. Political theater for the most part, just to keep him from campaigning. I can see that argument. However, I mean, some of the felony charges I have seen, especially with Mar-a-Lago, that I've seen. I mean, I've only read a little bit. I still need to do more. I hope he's got a good lawyer. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go back to my original hypothesis. This subconscious fear of white Europeans.
I understand about the whole intersectionality in regards to, like, you know, racism, classism, all this other stuff, but I don't like this argument.
Or maybe even conscious fear of the global majority finally saying enough is enough.
And here's the thing, when it comes to TikTok and social media, you step outside of it. Okay, you know what, hold on, let me go on here. Support for Israel poll. Oh, I saw this. They're both going down, but here's the thing. It's still a high percentage. Data for progress. Analysis. Democrats. Okay. Okay, we'll go to the Gallup. Gallup is pretty good. 8-point decline for Palestinian Authority, 10 for Israel. Wow. I know. I remember reading about this. Where was it? Favorable towards Israel and the Palestinian authorities they're both on the decline. And that's the thing, welcome to war. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Look at this. All the way down. Changes in favorable ratings towards Israel and Palestinian Authority by age. Whoa, really? See, look, that's crazy. Like, look. There's still like 18 to 34. My generation, I'm Gen Z. Yeah, I'm early Gen Z. 18 to 34-year-olds, 64%. That's surprising. Actually, wait, no, sorry. Oh, yeah, okay, no, sorry. My bad, I read that wrong. Okay, 26, okay, yeah, that I see. Still favorable. Yeah, like, everybody just hates everybody right now. Changes in favorable ratings of the Israel and Palestine Authority by party ID. Wow, independence really took a hit. Republicans, a little bit. I can kind of see that. Democrats, not as much. Are your sympathies more with the Israelis or the Palestinians? Mostly Israelis, wow. More Americans view the conflict as a critical U.S. threat. Oh, there you go. And moving on. And hey guys, I like discussion, I like debate. Keep it up. Just don't violate which TOS is all I ask. Israel war on Gaza. Oh, wait. Okay, hold up. I'm not trying to censor anything. It's just I know Twitch TOS. It might ding the stream if I show the wrong thing. Okay, so H Group has proposed new mediations that have views on the prison swap. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Choose proposal. It will be a 3-phase ceasefire, with each phase lasting 42 days. The first stage, Israeli forces must withdraw to allow the return for displaced Palestinians and the passage of aid. Okay. Palestinian armed groups said that the initial release of Israelis would include women, children, and elderly ill captives in exchange for the 7 to 1,000 Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Hamas said that 50 Palestinian prisoners of their choosing should be free in exchange for the release of one female Israeli reservist. Ooh, the fact that she's still alive is daunting. The group, okay, so prisoner exchange for the first part. They're not going to agree to this because, look, listen. Hamas said 50% of Palestinian prisoners of its own choosing, 30 who are serving life-term sentences. I'm curious to see what those sentences are and what they did. The group said that in the second phase begins of a permanent ceasefire before any exchange begins, while the third stage would involve initiating a reconstruction process in Gaza and lifting the siege of the enclave. Okay, here's the thing, they're not going to agree to that. Why would I argue that they're not going to agree to that? For the sole purpose and reasoning of being that Israel's taking most of the brunt of the blame. Like, yeah, you do have international pressure, but at the end of the day, like, is it going to be enough to stop them? Israel's war cabinet and large security cabinet were to meet on Friday to discuss the proposal. They've already rejected it, I wasn't surprised. The central sticking point in Israel and Hamas negotiations, which have been irreconcilable for both parties, is in recent weeks, is essentially Israel's demand for a permanent and absolute victory. Okay, and they obviously rejected it, so there. Now, let's talk about this. This, I find very, very interesting. Oh, and this is the actual text of his speech. Cool. This is good. Israeli elections are the only way. So obviously the Democrats are feeling they're feeling the pressure right now because they need to fix this as soon as possible because we have six more months until it's election season. They need to deliver. Mutual peace. Speak for myself. Hold up. Okay, if he says this, it's over. Like, it's not gonna happen. I appreciate that so many Israelis cannot contemplate the possibility of a two-state solution right now. We will never forget. But, anything before the word but, even while we carry the anguish in our hearts, we have to think about the future ahead. We cannot let anger and trauma determine. A two-state solution may feel daunting for now, but I believe it is the only realistic and sustainable solution on the basis of security, on the basis of prosperity, on the basis of fundamental human rights and dignity. Right now, there are 4 major obstacles that stand in the way of two states, and it is these 4. Oh, this is a long speech. Okay, we'll probably save that for another stream. Now, going over to Russia and Ukraine. Russian missile. Oh, pfft. Oops. Russian missile attack on Odessa kills at least 20 people. Fair response from a vile strike. And here's my thing. Okay, where did it say? Odessa. And so here's my thing. Randomly firing into Ukraine. Here's the thing. By randomly firing at random civilians within the state of Ukraine, you are going to have issues because it's uncontrollable. I think a few weeks ago, I even made a TikTok about this, where he almost killed the Greek Prime Minister. Had that happened, it would have been straight up a situation where NATO would have gotten involved. Because Greece would have enacted Article 5 or Article 7, hold up. Article 5 provides that if NATO is an ally of a victim of an armed conflict, in each and every other member of the alliance will consider this act of violence against everyone and will effectively act. Now, just to be safe, let me just see something. Greece and NATO, because I might have messed this up. Greece is a member of NATO. Yes. Where am I getting all this great music? Streamlabs music. Streamlabs music. Sounds like Charles Mungus. Okay, let me actually look this up now. This is Jazz Poet by Leo Murray. Let me put that on here. Copy and paste. Bloop. Hey, if you like the music, just let me know and I'll copy and paste it. There you go, Leo Marie. That's the song. Playing right now. I don't know. Ooh, I wanted to talk about this. What is going on? So, passed the first panel 50-0, and it passed the other one with a resounding majority from both Democrats and Republicans. Now it goes to the Senate, and then after the Senate, Joe Biden signs it, which he has said he is going to sign it. And the whole point of this is because of ByteDance's investment into TikTok. And ByteDance is a company within China, and most companies within China aren't private enterprises. They have some like they're part of a government entity. Alright, thank you for the lively discussion. I really appreciate it. So the bill, yeah. Hey, Gummo Rabbit, if you want to, you know, if you want to, I always stream like from now up until like the 23rd. Or 22nd. I'll be streaming every day at a 5 p.m. PST. So if you want, and if you're also here lurking, feel free to give me a follow. I'll be here all the time, and my thing's wide open. And I have people from all, like, if you have like people from all sides of the political aisle, I gotta tell you, it's a lot more interesting and fun because you do engage in debates. I like that. Beijing has vowed to take necessary. Oh, look at this. Look at it. Beijing has vowed to take necessary measures to protect its interests. Did they just flat out admit it? Yeah, here's it. It is owned by ByteDance, a Beijing-based firm registered in the Cayman Islands. Bipartisanship, yeah, 352. That is a lot. Runs contrary to the principles of fair competition and justice. When someone sees a good thing another person has, and he tries to take for it themselves, it's entirely logic of a bandit. Whoopsie. It is unclear whether the bill has enough support to pass the U.S. Senate. Oh, it's gonna pass. Trust me when I say this, it's gonna pass. After its passage in the House, TikTok CEO Shouzi Chu said that the bill would take billions of dollars out of the pocket of creators and small businesses. Which he is correct. Like, here's the thing, that is correct. There are so many people that actually make a living off this app. It's crazy. On Wednesday, several TikTok creators told the BBC that their fear livelihood and businesses if the bill passed becomes law. Okay, no. Do not make social media or content creating your sole #1 job. And now, granted, if you're like Hassan or you're like Destiny, I can see that. But do not make this your sole job. Like, have other streams of income. I got multiple streams of income. That's why I have the ability to do this. A lot of people can't do this. This is the thing. I have enough money for the camera. I got enough money for this mic. I got enough money for my Streamlabs. I got enough money for the screen right here. I got enough money for my laptop right here. I have enough money to do all those other things. A lot of people don't. And this is not me bragging, saying that I'm better. What I'm saying is that do not depend your livelihood on content creating. People have like a shelf life when they make it big, around 3 to 5 years. Then after those years, then they have to modify their content. Like, I know for, like, Stephanie Su is one of them. She used to be a mukbanger, and she did pretty good mukbangs. But here's the problem. It started to die out. So now she does scary stories. It's pretty cool. I like it. The approach has irked U.S. lawmakers, shot itself in the foot with the lobbying effort. This is demonstrating that they want the power of their technology to persuade people and inform them of their viewpoint. The propaganda angle we're seeing out of TikTok. TikTok is banned in... Oh. banned in China along with other social media platforms. And that's my thing. It's like, look, if you're gonna come back to TikTok, that's one thing. But here's the issue with China: it doesn't allow multiple apps. It doesn't allow Facebook, doesn't allow Instagram, doesn't allow Twitter, doesn't allow TikTok. It has its own each individual versions. So Douyin, that's their version of TikTok. Their version of Twitter. You know what? Hold up. What is China's version of Twitter? Yeah, they have a version of YouTube, Amazon. Weibo! There we go. It was on top of my head. Weibo. I'm like, oof. So here's the thing. They want the divestment from TikTok into an American company. Yeah, they're gonna invest and buy TikTok. Like, America's gonna take it over. That's how we roll, baby. Ooh, Kevin O'Leary might buy it. Oh, that's interesting. They have an estimation value of $260 billion. Well, it sucks to be you, Mr. CEO. I want to be you right now. Now, this is a right-leaning app. Of course, it's going to dig into it, but like, So when it comes to Yemen, in the Red Sea, I mean, this is what I don't. Okay, go away. When it comes to Yemen in the Red Sea, when this first initially broke out, oh, they're peaceful and all this other stuff. Okay, they're blowing up random ships. And they blew up one with the fertilizer, they blew up one with the gas tank. They're blowing up all this other stuff, causing ecological damage in the Red Sea. And all of this is going to go into Yemen, making the humanitarian crisis worse. I gotta say, they're idiots. You gotta think of the bigger picture. Yeah, I would not say I'll respond to that. Okay, I'm interested in this. But before I say I'm interested in this, I'm afraid we're gonna have a little bit of a chair cam situation right now. So I will be right back. I need to use the bathroom. Yeah, give me 1 second. Sorry, I have family over. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. TikTok is now facing a ban in the United States. Okay, no, we gotta talk about that. Pass the bill. America is in bar. We already talked about that. Bullying. If TikTok is eventually banned, more Chinese-owned apps in the U.S. may be next in line. Oh, that's interesting. And this latest episode of TikTok underscores a need for a much more robust regulatory framework in the U.S. to address existential issues brought by big tech. Applications in the Chinese developer app in the U.S. App Store or Google Play include Temu and Shein. Okay, I gotta say this. Shein has some really cringe apps and cringe trailers, and it's no fault of their own. But man, you need to edit the living hell out of that, or at least have someone who's a native English speaker speak. Because here's the thing, I cannot understand what they're saying sometimes. It's really that bad. And like I'm studying Chinese, okay? Like my Chinese is not good. Okay, like if I spoke it, like you can tell, like I'm still learning. When it comes to Shein, like their commercial apps, it's so bad I don't understand what they're saying. But like. Label. This is U.S. version of nationalism. We've already been able to use Google, Twitter, Facebook for more than a decade. I think we are way ahead of the U.S. in blocking foreign news services. Ooh, did someone say this on Weibo? Oh, if you say anything on Weibo, they're gonna come after you. While China has completely banned its American app, TikTok also enjoys all the benefits of America's free and open legal political systems. Okay, well. This has been a lively session. I do appreciate everybody on here. Thank you for everybody's responses, conversations, and I love it. And, you know, here's the thing. Hey, Gummo Rabbit, I mean, you know, not that I'm pressuring you, and also other people here lurking, I'm not pressuring you. But if you want to, go ahead and give me a follow, and I'll go ahead and give me a follow, because right now I'm ending the stream in about a few minutes. But I thank you for everybody on here for your participation, your lively insights. And if you like more of me, go ahead and give me a follow. I do appreciate it. Before I do, let me just go to the multi-stream. Did I forget anybody? Follow, good stream. Thank you, Gummo Rabbit. Thank you. Did you? Did you already follow me? I didn't see it. Let me see. Yeah, I have, like, here, let me see. Yeah, I don't know, like, I haven't seen you. It could be me. Let me just double check. Did you follow, did you follow? Because I didn't see it. Because normally, like, if you did, I would see this. Yeah, let me see. Oh, you did? Okay, I guess I must have gotten buried. I do apologize. Because I do see, like, someone else did follow me. Well, I hate, so, oh, I apologize. I just want to thank everybody in here. And hey, okay, tomorrow, 5 p.m. PST. So, like, 5 p.m. PST, depending on where you're at, we're going to have this again. Gummo Rabbit, Common Ground Live, thank you so much for commenting. I do appreciate it. And I hope to see everybody here tomorrow, 5 p.m. PST. Tomorrow, actually, not tomorrow, but the next day after that, I'm going to release my streaming schedule for the next few days. And I'm